Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin, and welcome to Cavalcade of Food.
Happy New Year. It's Ralph. I'm behind the camera.
Happy New Year. We are in a new year, and hope everybody has a wonderful 2015 filled with lots of happiness, good health, and more importantly, good food. Good eating.
We're going to start off with something decadent in the new year, aren't we?
We are. You know what? We're making bread pudding. So that's one of somebody's favorite things, right?
It makes me happy. I get a big smile when I think of bread pudding. I just love the warmth, the moistness, the flavors. And there's a Mexican bread pudding that we'll have to try sometime called copa de tada that I had over the holidays. That's also very good.
That would be good. Well, we're going to make there's a lot of bread pudding recipes out there. We're making one using a panettone. This is an Italian fruit bread. You see them a lot during the holidays, and often I will get them as gifts when people come over the house. And it's what I like about the panettone is that the bread is sort of sweet, the dough is sort of yeasty, and they almost always have raisins in them, and some of them, like this one, also has orange peel. And this particular piece, Ralph, is from Italy, and you can see the inside. It's very light and airy, has a great smell to it, so you've already got a lot of flavor going on. The other thing is this bread, depending on how long it's been hanging around,
lends itself to that.
Yeah, it's because it's a little on the dry side. And whenever you make a bread pudding, you should use a bread that's either a little stale or a little dried out. And that's actually how it came to be. It was a way to use up leftover day-old bread. And you could use a challah bread if you wanted more of an eggy type bread, or a sweet bread, a brioche.
Challah.
You could use regular French bread or any kind of dried bread.
Or leave it out for a while, or put it in the oven.
Put it in the oven at a low temperature, like 200 degrees for maybe 15 minutes. It would definitely dry out.
But obviously better to use something rustic and nothing too soft.
Some people don't like to keep the crust on. I don't.
I like the crust.
Yeah, it's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut this into, we're not exact, but
kind of cubish.
Yeah, cubes. And what I've got here, Ralph, is a 9x13 baking dish. Mm-hmm. And I've sprayed it with a nonstick spray. And we're going to take our panettone bread here and take these cubes and just sort of...
Guess what else we're using up from the holidays left over and making good use of? Marianne, Kevin's sister, had the great idea of using eggnog, which we never got to, so we're going to use that as well.
Exactly. I think that's an awesome idea because bread pudding, is sort of bread cooked in a custard, and a custard is eggs and milk. And we bought eggnog. Well, we actually bought a couple of cartons for eggnog. We managed to get through one carton, but the other carton we didn't get through.
We have too many health-conscious friends.
Well, we had lots of other things to drink also.
That's true.
So,
anyway, we ended up with another
It was
carton.
a great idea that Marianne had to use up the eggnog in the bread pudding. Plus, the eggnog itself has a lot of great flavor. I mean, it's got the nutmeg and cinnamon,
vanilla.
And so, look at this. I mean, that looks beautiful already to me.
These are almost like step savers using this type of bread, using the eggnog. It's like, takes some of the additional steps out of the preparation.
You could also throw in, if you wanted to up it, you could throw in some chocolate chips. I know Ralph saw a recipe that made reference to that.
I don't.
But
I just thought that this is the kind of thing that I like because it tests your creativity. You could get crazy with it, right? Throw in chocolate chips. Throw in, if you didn't like raisins, maybe you could leave those out and throw in
you could
something
do
else.
Any kind of fresh fruit. You could do blueberries,
peanut butter chips.
Yeah. All right. So the bread's done. Now we're going to work on our custard. So I got 5 eggs here. Okay. And I've got a cup of dark brown sugar. If you don't have dark brown, you can use light brown. Let me whisk these eggs up a little bit. And then we're going to add our sugar. Okay, so we're just getting the
eggs and the sugar blended, okay.
And you just want to get this all stirred up. And then
cinnamon?
Yeah. Now I've got 2 teaspoons of cinnamon here. You could put more to taste if you wanted to, but again, we're using the eggnog. I've got a tablespoon of vanilla. Again, you could use more, but the eggnog is very kind of vanilla-y.
Right. And if people weren't using eggnog, what would they just be using, a milk or a cream?
Yeah, you could just use, I would suggest using a whole milk, or if you wanted to kind of make it, rich it up a little bit, you could use either evaporated milk or half and half, combination of milk and cream. I'm just transferring this to a bigger bowl because now we've got our, cinnamon, vanilla, dark brown sugar, 5 eggs. Now I've got a 1/4 cup here of maple syrup. Okay, we're going to put that in there. And we got a bottle of really good,
authentic maple syrup.
The real deal. Okay, and then I've got 3½ cups here of eggnog. Yeah, look at that. Okay, now we're going to mix that in. So, it has a wonderful smell.
It does already. You can get a nice whiff of all those sweet aromas.
Okay, so now here's our custard mix right here. We're all set. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pour this on top of the bread.
Just give me a spoon and I'll go right at it.
I like the happy trumpet music here.
Oh, this is a great Doc Severinsen album from 1967, I believe.
Wow.
But this is
I always think of Johnny Carson.
Of course, yeah. But we like to play our little old records we find that are kind of neglected. Nobody goes for these records anymore. They're kind of make good background.
Like them.
Yeah.
I'm going to press this down a little bit. Now, you know what? We're going to just leave this alone for an hour. Okay?
Oh, really? So it's got to soak for that long?
Yeah. You really want this bread to pull in all this liquid, okay?
Right.
We're just going to leave it for an hour, and then we'll put it in the oven.
All right.
Okay? So, we're halfway there. We are making a wonderful New Year's bread pudding. So it's been sitting for an hour, and you can see that the bread's kind of plumped up,
Yeah, it's absorbed all the liquid.
Yeah, and what I did is about every 15 or 20 minutes, I kind of came by with the spatula and gave a little pat, just to kind of make sure that the liquid would be absorbed as much as possible.
Okay.
So now we've got we put this in a 350-degree oven. So I'm not putting it in the oven because I'm also making dinner, and we got ribs and baked potatoes that are going to be going in the oven at a different temperature. So I'm going to employ my wonderful Westinghouse electric roaster, and a lot of people have asked questions about this because they've seen it in the background, and probably a lot of you are familiar with these. They still make electric roasters. You can buy them.
So explain how this is going to do the job of the oven.
Well, this is actually like an extra oven.
Okay.
So what happens is you have these coils that go all the way around this roaster. See?
So do you preheat it like an oven?
You do. You preheat it like an oven, and it bakes like an oven. It's actually a wonderful appliance. A lot of people do their Thanksgiving turkeys in these, which you can certainly do, but I use it when I need a second oven. So I've preheated this to 350 degrees. We're going to put this in here.
Wow, so it goes Good
Just
thing it
like
fits
so.
right in there, eh?
Yeah, it does. And this is a 9 by 13, and that's about the biggest utensil you can put in there.
Wow.
So it's at 350 degrees, and we're going to leave it right there, somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. It's got a little peekaboo window here.
Oh, yeah.
You want it nice and golden brown on the top. So again, you'd put this in the oven in the same way, 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how long it takes to sort of get nice and brown, and you want that custard to all come together. So
Peekaboo bread pudding, I see you.
so we'll come back when this is ready to come on out of the roaster. So we're going to make a little hard sauce for our
Bread pudding.
And
That calls for what? Whiskey and sugar?
whiskey, yeah. You could use bourbon. I'm using a honey whiskey. You could use regular whiskey, whatever you like.
So this is almost like we were saying before, kind of pre-sweetened whiskey.
Yeah.
Kind of cutting steps for us as well.
So here's what I've got in the pan here, Ralph. This is 1 stick of butter melted, okay, over kind of a low heat. I'm going to add my 1/4 cup of whiskey to it, honey whiskey, and then I've got a cup of dark brown sugar. Let's put that in there.
So this is still at a very low heat?
Low heat, and I'm just going to whisk it all together here, okay, until what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get all that brown sugar dissolved. Now over in this bowl off to the side is
eggs.
Just one egg that I've beaten.
Whole egg?
Yep, 1 whole egg that I've just sort of
given a quick whisk.
Yeah. And take a look at I don't know if you can get in there, but you can see it's very dark, the sauce. Mm-hmm. And the alcohol, people sometimes are if they have an aversion or sensitive to alcohol, it burns off. You could leave the whiskey out altogether if you didn't want to.
Just create like a nice buttery,
sugary, buttery sauce, yeah, which would be good. The whiskey gives it a nice kind of edge.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to temper these eggs. So because this is warm and the egg is at room temperature, if I put the whole egg in here, it could scramble. And that wouldn't be good at all.
No.
We don't like scrambled eggs with our whiskey.
I might, but you never know. No.
So
I know you're always cautious about not making sure that the heat isn't too much to cook the eggs.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of this warm syrupy sauce here.
Sauce, yeah.
And we're going to add it to the eggs. Okay. And I'm going to do this 3 or 4 times, and what this will do is gradually, this is going to bring the temperature of the egg up, okay, in a really slow way.
Without cooking it.
Yes, without cooking it.
Gotcha.
Then, once we've done that, so let me get a little more of this. Once we've done that, then we can pour the egg mixture back into that, and it won't scramble. So this is called tempering, this process.
Otherwise we'd have an egg drop sauce.
Okay, maybe I'll take a little bit more here, and I think we'll be in good shape.
So that's called tempering. Okay.
Tempering, okay?
All right.
So now that we've done that, I think it's fine. We will. I'm going to make sure I'm going to put this. See, the egg is what is going to thicken our sauce up also. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're just going to whisk this together.
At this very low heat.
It's very low heat until the sauce has thickened up, which it's already doing. Okay? And then we'll have our sauce. And you can do one of two things with this. You can either drizzle this over the bread pudding when it comes out,
or keep it separate for those who may not want it as much,
and just have it on the side,
or give it to Ralph with a straw.
So Anyways, our bread pudding's got about another 5-10 minutes to go, and we'll have that out, and we'll have this nice whiskey sauce to go on top. Ooh, it's smelling good up in here. Look at that.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful? It's been in 45 minutes. Take this out. You can see it's puffed up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's partially, from the eggs, the custard, and
wow, it smells like breakfast.
And it's kind of come away from the sides a little bit, so we're gonna just sort of let it simmer down here.
Now, will it kind of deflate a bit?
It will as it cools.
What did you give it? 35 minutes? 40?
This was in for 45 minutes. You see, it's kind of got a nice even brown color, and then here is, look at our nice thick hard whiskey sauce that will drizzle. Like I said, you could drizzle this over now, maybe poke some holes in it, or I think we're gonna, and let it kind of seep in.
Yeah.
Or you can leave it on the side.
Or do both. Have some in and some on the side.
Yep. Either way.
And you should let folks know that if they don't have a honeyed whiskey, which a lot of people don't, you can just add honey to your whiskey.
You could. You could just put a teaspoon of honey in your whiskey, or if you don't want it that sweet, because it's also got the brown sugar in it, you could just omit it. You could certainly use
just the whiskey.
The whiskey, you could
with the brown sugar.
Whiskey, bourbon, either one would work really well. Rum, sure, be
or
another
chata.
alternative.
I mean, rum chata. Has it cooled off a bit?
Yeah, it's cooled off. It's still warm though, but it's cooled enough. So what I'm gonna do?
It's good to eat it while it's warm, but
yes,
but
I think it's
too hot.
I think it's best while it's warm. So let me get this first piece out. Look at that. Wow. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
And look how moist it is, and
custardy.
The raisins have plumped up. We're gonna just put a nice little drizzle of our hard whiskey sauce on there.
And now the taste test. The proof is in the bread pudding.
It sure is. Let's see. Wow. Using the eggnog really changed the game here. Wow.
That's a game changer.
It's moist, of course, very moist, but got the eggnog with the vanilla, the nutmeg, and then you're getting the raisins, and you're getting the orange peel that was in the bread.
Wow, so you're getting a lot of...
There's so many things.
A lot of fun flavors.
Cinnamon. A scoop of vanilla ice cream with this could be
the Mexican bread
incredible.
pudding that I was mentioning earlier, it's tradition to put a layer of cheddar cheese on top.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
kind of like an apple pie.
I don't know. Oh, I see. I don't know about the...
No, I think for this, the things you suggested, the ice cream and things like that would be perfect. But
vanilla ice cream would be ideal with this, although I got to tell you, just how it is, it's delicious.
Oh yeah, it's definitely got more of a citrusy flavor. And then the eggnog, like you said, is a nice addition.
Really good.
Okay.
So,
we had a blast making this.
We sure did. We had a great time, as we always do, being with you. And thank you for being a part of this one. Hope you had a good time. We sure did.
Wishing you the happiest of New Year's.
All the best to you and yours in the new year. And you know what? We'll see you next time here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye.
Bye-bye.